Hi, it's Diana with your workout of the day. Today we're going to talk about flexibility and why it's so important to take this time to recover our muscles and give them a chance to just repair so that we can be more productive in our workouts. It's so much fun to do cardio and it's so much to lift and really be strong, but we also need to take time to breathe and let our muscles relax. So I'm going to give you an analogy here. So our muscles are like this when they're nice and fresh. So the longer they stretch, the more force they have. So if I pull the rubber band back and then I let it go, it flies really far. But if I take my muscle and I put a knot in it, like this, maybe my fingers will work. Just kidding, let me try again. Put that one down. Okay, so now I have half the length of my muscle, right? So it doesn't go as far and it can't produce the amount of force that we want it to. So if you're working out and you're like, man, why can't I do what I used to be able to do? It's probably because you need to recover a little bit and you gotta do some flexibility. So the more flexible you are, the stronger you'll be and the more force you can produce with each muscle strand. So today we're gonna spend some time on that. So you need a mat. You need a chair if you need it for a balance. We're going to be on the floor and up, and we're going to do a warm-up. So you need a little bit of room. We're going to do some dynamic stretching so I can show you what flexibility and movement looks like. I'll see you in the warm-up. All right, so our warm-up today, we're going to start by getting our muscles warm. Then we're going to do some dynamic stretching where we're kind of moving forward and back in our space, so that your living room is fine for this, but if you wanted to do it outside, you could. And then we're gonna just work on flexibility. You should hold each stretch for 30 seconds because that's long enough to allow the nerves in your muscles to say, oh, it's okay, I can relax. When we only hold for 10 seconds, we're still a little bit tight and the tension's holding, but after about 30 seconds, the nerve reaction relaxes and you get a little bit better stretch. So we're gonna hold each movement for 30 seconds. But first, we're gonna warm up. So here we go. We're gonna do 25 jumping jacks. 2, 3, 4. Weights in our heels, and knees are out. This. Arms are coming up. Nice and easy. Just warming up our body a little bit so get the blood flowing, get some good flexibility in today. All right. 3, 2, 1, rest. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about dynamic stretching. Dynamic stretching is we move and stretch at the same time. So the first one I'm gonna show you is a grass scooper. We get it on Wednesday, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with our feet right under our hips. We're gonna kick our foot up and our toes are gonna come to the ceiling, and we're gonna bend down, keeping our core in tight, and try to pick flowers or scoop grass. And then we're gonna come up and we're gonna take a step, opposite foot. We bend and reach, step, opposite foot. Okay? So we're gonna do 2 times each side, and then we're gonna turn around and come back, and we're gonna repeat it. So scoot, reach down, step, opposite foot, hips come back, and arms come down. So let's see if we can reach a little bit further. Can you get closer to the ground? Step, last one. Good, and then we're gonna come up. Okay, next we're going to do what we call Spider-Man, because we're gonna be low and stealthy. So we're gonna come down to the ground, we're gonna walk out to a plank, and then we're gonna bring our outside leg even with our palm. And we're gonna walk forward with our hands when we keep our hips really low to the ground. So we're gonna come down, and as we walk, we're gonna keep our hips low, and then we bring our other foot to the other side. So we walk, dragging our toe, and then we reach out. So we're being Spider-Man, nice and slow, climbing up the side of that building. Okay, we're gonna do one more. Okay, and then you're gonna come up and stand. Okay? So that was doing our hip flexibility and our inner thigh. Now we're gonna do some hamstrings. So we're gonna windmill. So we're gonna step, touch, step, touch. You can also do this in place, but it's really fun to walk, I think. Movement's always good. One more. Good. All right, the last one we're gonna do is lunging. So now we're gonna work on rotating our core here. So we're gonna step forward. We're gonna drop leg is parallel to the floor, and our back leg is 90, and then we're gonna rotate our chest, and then we're gonna stand up. So we're gonna come down, rotate, back, up. Step, rotate, back, up. Keeping our core in tight, and keeping our chest up. So things we don't want to do this. All right, we want to keep our chest up. Last one. Okay, so we're going to come over to our mat. And you can see my little cheat sheet here. So we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about our neck. So everything flows down. So we're just going to sit on our mat. We're going to take deep breaths. We're going to take 2. So one big breath, fill your lungs, then exhale slow. And then again. Okay, so now we're going to do neck exercises. So we're going to do 3 per side. The first one we're going to do is we're going to look at our shoulder, keeping our shoulders down so don't hunch up. We're going to look over and then come back to the middle, and then the other side. We want to make sure you pause each time. So here, pause. Here, pause. Okay, 2 more. Good. Just warming up our neck. All right, so now we're going to try to put our ear on our shoulder. So we're going to lean as far over as we can without lifting our shoulder. So we're going to lean over, and then we're going to come back to neutral, and then we're going to do the other side. So as you can tell, this side's really tight because this is the side I sleep on. So we always have a flexible side and a tight side. So your dominant side is usually the side that's tighter. So 1 more each side. Good. And now we're going to do chin to chest. So we're going to come down and then back up. But we never want to look up. So we just want to come down and up because we don't want to crunch the C-spine. So we want to keep nice and tall. 2 more. 1 more. Okay, now we're going to do shoulders. So we're going to roll our shoulders back and down, and then we're going to reset. So our shoulders up, down, reset. So each time you roll your shoulders, you're trying to reach them up to your ears, and then roll them down, and reset your shoulder blades into your, like if I was wearing pockets, in my pockets, and then reset. So roll and reset. Good, so now we're gonna do fingers and arms. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna reach our hands out, spread our fingers wide, bring them together, like this. Okay, now we're gonna tap each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, out, together. 1, 2, 3, 4, out, together. Last time. Out, 1, 2, 3, 4, together. Okay, then bring your arms wide, bring your thumbs up, just putting them as far as back as you can, and then rotate your thumbs down, stretching out the bicep. All right, good, that's our warm up. I'll see you in the workout. Okay, so basic stretching. So we're gonna talk about quads, hamstrings, hips, and back. That's it. So we're gonna start with a quad stretch. So we're gonna start with our feet right under hips, and we're gonna shift our weight to where we have balance on one foot, okay? Then you're gonna put this toe back down, you're gonna grab your midfoot, and you're gonna pull up and in. This is where you need that chair if you need some balance. And what we wanna do is we wanna keep our hips square, and we wanna keep our chest proud, so we don't wanna turn our hips or look down, so we wanna be up nice and straight. And then if you need a bigger stretch, you can grab your toe and pull up a little bit more, but the goal is to keep your knees together. So we're holding. Okay, that's about 30 seconds. So we're gonna put it down. We're gonna get squared again. So now we're gonna shift our weight to the left side. Pick your foot up, make sure it's good. Okay, then reset, grab your midfoot, put your arm out for balance or hold that chair if you need to, and then bring your knees together. So your heel's driving into your glutes, and then your hips are straight and your chest is proud. Holding for 30. Breathing. Sometimes I have to look at the floor to keep my balance. Do y'all have to look at the floor too? Maybe. I'm not cool enough to look up. All right, that's it. So that's our quad stretch. Okay, so now we're gonna come down to the mat. We're gonna be on the mat for the rest of the time. So for right here, we're gonna do a hip flexor stretch. So what we wanna do is we wanna put our knee on the mat and our foot forward, and we wanna be 90 and 90. So we want this leg to be straight down, so all of our weight's kind of driving in this leg, and then this one's for balance, okay? And so we're gonna talk about the wrong way to do the hip flexor and then the right way. So a lot of times you'll see people do this. That's actually not stretching your hip flexor. So we're gonna really stretch it today. So you're gonna bring your foot back in, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn our hips under, and immediately you will feel a stretch come right down the middle of in front of your quad all the way to your knee, okay? If you need more, you can always take your hand, and you're gonna reach straight up, pulling up out of the oblique, so up out of the pelvis here. And then tuck your hips under even more. That's really getting the front hip flexor here. Okay, now we're going to switch to the other side. So bring your arm down, put your knee down, and then bring this foot forward. So go ahead and set it up. So we want to make sure our knee's over our ankle and our toes are loose and the weight's really in this leg right here. We want to make sure, I was cheating back here, so make sure it's straight, okay? And you should immediately, we're going to tuck our hips underneath us. We're making like a C shape with our body. And we want to make sure our shoulders stay right on top of our hips. So we're not leaning forward, we're not leaning way back. So our shoulders stay still, but our hips tuck under. And that's engaging the hip flexor in the front of that quad. And if you need that extra stretch, you're going to pull up and out, reaching up towards the sky. Breathing, don't hold your breath. I was holding my breath. Don't hold your breath. All right, so that's the hip flexor stretch. Okay, so coming down, we're going to do some other hip work. So go ahead and lay down on your mat. We're going to lay down, and we want to make sure that our back stays flat in all of our work today. So we want to keep our back super flat on the ground. And if you have low back problems, you can always make a diamond shaped on your low back if you need extra support. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take this leg and we're going to put it right on top of our knee, making the number 4, right, makes it 4. And what we're going to do is we're going to carefully, we're going to bring this leg, the bottom leg, up and forward. But we only want to go to where this leg doesn't collapse. So we just want to feel that tension in the hip. And if you are very flexible, you can reach through and grab your shin here and just pull it in towards you. But you want to try to keep this in, and you can also drop your foot down depending on your flexibility of your hip here. And you're just going to hold. Make sure you're breathing. This is stretching out the piriformis and the glute medius. Okay, so we're going to switch sides. So unravel. We're going to put this one over our knee, and we're going to slowly bring it up just to where we start to feel that good tension, right? Give it a second so your body can relax a little bit. I have really tight piriformises because I spin, so my piriformises are always really tight, which you can tell. And then if you're really flexible, you can always drop this foot down, or you can leave it up, however you like it. And just make sure you breathe through this stretch, nice and calm breaths. All right, and then we're going to unfold. Okay, so kick one leg out straight and keep one leg bent. We'll do this leg first. And we're going to flex our foot. We're going to put our hands right on our belly because they need something to do. But if you have low back problems, you can put them under here. This is a good place for that. I'm going to put mine on my belly. And what we're going to do is we're going to do some dynamic hamstrings. So what we're going to do is we're going to kick our leg up, and just until you feel that tension, but it should never hurt, no pain, right? You just want to feel, yep, I feel that. So we're going to kick up. We're going to see if you can, by moving dynamically, can you kick it further each time? But again, it's not supposed to be painful. It's just a light stretch. And then we're going to hold at the top here. If you can grab your toe, you can. You can also use a towel if you can't reach your toe. Then we're going to come back down. We're going to repeat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. And then you can grab your calf. You want to make sure you flex your foot. So when you relax, when you point your toe, it takes some tension out. But here's my trick, here's my tip. If your quad is contracted, your hamstring has to relax. So contract your quad, and that helps you get a little bit deeper stretch. Okay, relax. We're going to do the other side. So this foot stays up, this foot comes down. You're going to flex your foot, hands on your belly or underneath your back. We're going to do 5 kicks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. So again, you can grab your calf or you can grab your toe. You can use a towel if you really want to drive it down. And again, it's not supposed to be hurting, it's just supposed to be something you feel. Okay, and then we're going to kick again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Okay, that's hamstrings. Yay, it's over. Hamstrings are the worst. They hurt so bad all the time. Okay, so now we're going to do some back stuff. So we're going to stretch our back and then we're going to warm it up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a Superman. So we're going to come down on our belly. We're going to put our hands out forward in front of us. And relax your legs. And what I want you to do, because I'm talking into the floor, look at you, you're going to lift up your legs first, and you can keep your feet like squeezing together to get those muscles all contracted, and then you're gonna lift your arms. So you're gonna lift and hold, just for 10 seconds, 8, 3, 2, 1, relax. And then we're gonna do it again. Up and hold. So this is working your low back right here. So we don't want to do a lot of them because they can make your back really sore if you're not used to it. And relax. Okay, so we're gonna push up. We're gonna roll over on our back. And we're gonna stretch out our low back now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our hands out in a T position, palms up. And we're gonna take our knees, we're gonna put them together, and we're gonna bring them up to our hip. So we're right on top of our hips, and we're just gonna drop them over and just let them fall to the side. And that's stretching out our low back and our trunk. And then to get out, you can lift both knees together, but if that is gonna stress your back, you can just do one leg and then the other. So then lift them up, we're gonna do the other side. I'm gonna show you an advanced version in just a second. And you're trying to keep your shoulder on the ground, but if you're not flexible, your shoulder will roll up, and that's okay, just put it right here. Just try to work it down slowly. Okay, then bring foot and then foot. Okay, if that didn't stretch at all and you need a little bit more, I'm gonna teach you a new one, but make sure you're ready, okay? So we're gonna cross our legs like this, okay? You're gonna take your knee, put it on the outside, and you're gonna roll forward. So this puts a lot of pressure into that low back, and it gives you a nice stretch right in your low back all the way up. And then you're gonna roll back to the middle, and then cross your legs the other side. And then grab your knee, and then roll forward. So you're laying on top of that. Your bottom leg is laying on top of your front. And as you can see, like I have tightness in my chest here and in my shoulders, because my shoulder's not laying on the ground. So everyone's got a little bit of something, that's okay, it's all right. And that's it. So make sure you hold every movement for 30 seconds and take your time, and you can do as many rounds as you want to feel like you're getting a good stretch. Make sure you breathe today and take time to recover. It was great working out with you, and I'll see you next time.